Good morning, everyone. I'm Dana Kozlov.
And I'm Adrena Sinclair. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Glad you're here with us. We do want to start with a warning after a series of robberies in Wrigleyville. How police say the thieves are targeting women as they leave bars at night.
And former President Joe Biden back in Chicago today. How concerns about federal cuts are bringing him back to the political spotlight.
And today is Purple Up Day, a day to honor military children and families. We're joining the celebration and sharing stories from families of those who serve, plus highlighting how a local group is supporting them.
But let's start with your first alert forecast. It's getting better after a few sprinkles to start. In fact, Mary Kay Kleist is with us now to talk about what we can expect for the rest of the day.
Okay, it's nice to see the rain exit the area, even though it probably slowed down a lot of people. An upper level disturbance is on the way out. It is breaking up and sliding eastward, so we will continue to dry out now. But we're going to keep those winds going, so plan for a windy, cooler day, about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday at least. Gone are the middle 60s. Instead, it's low 50s, middle 50s for daytime highs with some gusty winds. Right now we have 41 degrees at O'Hare, 43 at Midway. Little drizzle still hanging around O'Hare for the moment, but it's on the way out. Forecast highs will be in the low 50s North Shore. We'll see 52 in Highland Park, 55 in DuPage, middle 50s there through Bolingbrook and Plainfield and Naperville, and Orland Park 55 for you. And we'll see about 50 today in Burns Harbor. So a windy one, even though we dry out today. Tomorrow, sunshine, winds relax as well, maybe a little cooler by the lake. But as we turn up the temperature to close the work week, we bring in storm chances. First introduced on Thursday afternoon, but Friday is our weather alert day. We'll go through the timing of that storm front when I return with your first alert forecast. Dana, Audrina.
Mary Kay, thank you. Let's get into your nonstop news now. A man heads to court today now charged with murder after a woman was killed in Budlong Woods.
Police say Nur Mohammed Inez stabbed the 29-year-old woman to death on Sunday night. A young boy called 911 after finding his mother wounded in the bedroom near Balmoral and Washtenaw. He told dispatchers his father closed the door and refused to let anyone inside. Inez was arrested that night. It's a difficult story. And Chicago police are urging women to take precaution, especially when leaving bars.
That's because robbers are targeting women using rideshares. It's happening primarily on the north side. Our SL Reside joins us live in Wrigleyville with more on more than a dozen of these cases, SL.
Yeah, Dana, that's right. 3 of them happened over the weekend, and the latest one happening here on Cornelia and Clark, where we're standing this morning, steps away from almost a dozen of these armed robberies that have happened here on Clark Street. Along here in Wrigleyville, they're also targeting people in the Gold Coast area. We know some staff at bars have started putting up flyers in women's restrooms in hopes of raising awareness and showing people things to look out for. Chicago police putting out a community alert just yesterday warning of this pattern of armed robberies dating back to January 5th, and they always happen between about 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. 8 of them happening here on Clark, at least 2 on Division, 1 on Newport, the latest here on Cornelia. Each time police saying a group of 3 to 4 guys are approaching people as they're leaving a bar or waiting for an Uber, then using a gun or physical force to take their property before getting away. Sometimes they even steal bank information from people's phones. Second Ward Alderman Brian Hopkins telling us so far keeping staff at bars in the loop is helping.
We've actually prevented a number of these incidents from happening because the staff has been so well trained on what to look out for.
And what's even scarier is at times these suspects are pretending to be Uber drivers or offering rides in exchange for cash. Either way, officials are saying those always end up in armed robberies. Chicago police right now asking people to be on high alert as they try to track down the suspects involved. I'm live in Wrigleyville, SL Reside, CBS News Chicago.
SL, thank you for those updates. And right now we're working to figure out the cause of multiple fires at a Pullman auto shop. A source telling us an early morning fire was the 3rd in 2 weeks here at Ray's Auto Sale and Service on 95th and Avalon. Police confirmed the most recent fire was around 4:30 this morning. The other yesterday morning that burned multiple cars. The cause is now under investigation. And we're still waiting for more information on the person expected to be charged in a deadly shooting near the UIC Halstead Blue Line station.
Witnesses say the shooter was wearing a CTA vest. 61-year-old John Flemister was killed in a shootout with that suspect. The CTA has not given any information about the 24-year-old who was wearing the vest, who was taken in for questioning. Transportation expert tells us it really stands out that so little information has been shared since Saturday night.
Is it a city CTA worker, a safety worker? It's still being in the fog a couple days later about exactly what happened. You know, that's not what we need to do.
Now, we have repeatedly asked the CTA to clarify if that 24-year-old man is employed by the agency, but we have not heard anything back from CTA representatives.
It could still take days to figure out what caused this huge fire right off I-55 in unincorporated Joliet. The blast came from Movanco piping systems, causing millions of dollars in damage there. They said tens of millions. More than 24 fire departments responded to the scene because it was so big. The explosions destroyed one building. Also, one firefighter was hurt fighting this fire. They have a burned wrist and forehead, but they are expected to be okay. Today, former President Joe Biden will be in Chicago. It's his first appearance since leaving office, or public one at least. He'll discuss Social Security concerns amid funding cuts and layoffs. Now, here's video of Biden's last visit to Chicago. This was during the DNC. Today, he is one of the keynote speakers at a conference about concerns and solutions for older and disabled Americans, those who depend on supplemental income and social disability insurance. Biden will speak along with former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, who Biden chose to lead the Social Security Administration. The advocates, counselors, and representatives for the Disabled Conference is in Gold Coast this afternoon. And the legal fight continues to bring home a Maryland father who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador.
Now, Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says he will go to the country to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia back himself.
I believe the president of El Salvador will recognize why it's important to allow him to return to the United States of America. It is absolutely unjust and illegal to have this Marylander detained one more day in a notorious prison in El Salvador. Of course, President Trump could have just said.
The Supreme Court unanimously ordered Abrego Garcia's return, but the Trump administration is refusing to bring him back.
And as Derek Waller reports, El Salvador's president is also not willing to let the man go.
Today, parties are due back in federal court in the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man the Trump administration admits was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. But at the White House Monday, the president of El Salvador said Garcia will remain in prison.
How can I return him to the United States? Like I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it.
Top White House officials remain defiant despite a Supreme Court order for the administration to facilitate Garcia's release.
If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
The White House says Garcia has affiliations with the MS-13 gang, which his family denies. In 2019, a judge ruled he could stay in the U.S. for fear going back to El Salvador could put his life in danger. Monday, President Trump also suggested he wants to deport some violent U.S. citizens.
If it's a homegrown criminal, I have no problem. Now, we're studying the laws right now.
As for his ongoing trade war, Trump says he's now weighing exemptions to his 25% auto tariffs. Derek Waller, CBS News.
And developing today, Harvard University is in danger of losing billions of dollars in federal funding after refusing to comply with the Trump administration. The administration has targeted several Ivy League schools after protests calling for an end to the war in Gaza and divestment from Israel took place. In a letter to Harvard Friday, the Trump administration called for several changes, including a review of how the university views diversity and for an end to some student clubs. The university's president refused and said Harvard would not bend to the government's demands. He also reiterated the university's First Amendment rights and the right to protest. Now, more than $2.2 billion in grants is on hold. Former President Barack Obama, a Harvard Law School graduate, wrote online the university has set an example for other higher ed institutions, and he applauded Harvard's fights against attempts to, what he says, stifle academic freedom. And as we keep an eye on your world, former film mogul Harvey Weinstein will be back in court today as jury selection begins in his sexual assault trial.
And it comes after an appeals court overturned his 2020 conviction in New York. He's being tried on charges involving women from the original trial and then a third who was not involved in that case. He's pleaded not guilty. Jury selection expected to take the rest of the week, with opening statements expected next week. The appeals court threw out the original conviction in part, saying it was not a fair trial because 3 women testified about allegations that weren't part of the case. He was also convicted in California. And in Texas, a teen accused of stabbing and killing another teen at a track meet is now free on bond.
A judge lowered the bond for 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony to $250,000. The high school student left jail for his parents' home, where he will be confined with an ankle monitor. He is accused of killing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. Anthony told police he was acting in self-defense after an altercation. Both prosecutors and defense attorneys pleaded with the public to stop threats and harassment of both families.
The vitriol and the public reaction one way or the other has been intense, and threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity.
It's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this, so that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
Prosecutors will present the case to a grand jury, which will then determine if Anthony will be indicted.
And in Southern California, people are bracing for more aftershocks after that 5.2 magnitude earthquake. It was right near San Diego. You're seeing surveillance video from inside people's homes. The U.S. Geological Survey says one of the aftershocks that hit was a 4.0. Seismologists said there's even a small chance of an even bigger quake to follow. People who live in Southern California are now being asked to check their homes and businesses for any structural damage. Well, today is Purple Up Day. That's why we're wearing the color. And if you haven't heard of it, it's a day to recognize military families and kids.
That's right. We've been celebrating those families all morning long. And next, the wife and family members of a service member join us live to talk about military life, and we'll tell you how you can support the cause as well.
Welcome back. So today is Purple Up Day. It's a day to recognize and also celebrate the children of our servicemen and women. This day encourages everyone to wear purple. That's why we're doing it, to represent all branches of the military and just show unity and love. And as part of our recognition of Purple Up Day, we're learning more about the Blue Star Families. It's a nonprofit working to support military families because, there is so much adjustment that happens during deployments and so much more. I know that firsthand coming from a military family. We have a mother and son duo here to share their story. We've got Jade. Hello, nice to see you. We also have Heather Hathaway Miranda. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you so much for the invitation. We're honored.
We're honored to have you. This is exciting for me to be able to talk to another family who's just been impacted by so much of the change and moving that happens with being a military family. Your husband's been serving and is currently serving 30 years now.
Yes, over 30 years. We've been together over 7, but he signed up in 1991, and he's had a dedication his whole life to the service, so it's been amazing to join my life with his.
Thanks to him for his service. Jade, what's it like having Dad so far away, especially like going through school and just trying to you want to spend time with him, right?
Yeah, I miss him. Every night that we get on Google Chat and we video each other, and sometimes he helps me with my math homework, and I really miss him. It's hard, but it's always so nice to see him again.
Oh, I absolutely know that. So we're seeing some pictures of the family here. Heather, what are some of the challenges that you would say that families like yours, Blue Star families, face?
Wow.
I know. If we can maybe top 3.
The moves, figuring out the decision of, are we going to homeschool? Are we going to find a local school? What kind of housing are we going to be able to find? How are we going to have a new network of friends for us as adults and for our child to make friends in a new community. Where's the best grocery store? So just resource sharing. But the beauty of the programs that we've been able to find with Blue Star Families is to be able to connect with other families that understand the chaos and the beauty of military service life. So we've really enjoyed and always try to reconnect whichever community we're in, because Blue Star Families has several chapters.
Yeah.
But Illinois is our home base, and it's our main chapter.
It's been fun to see just how Blue Star connects with families and connects you guys with other families. And I hear you've been part of some of the family events and different stuff. What's that been like?
Yes, no, amazing. I know you probably have some favorites. I think my favorite was he loves to read. So watching him in a book club virtually was so rewarding that children like him who just kind of devour books could be supported through Blue Star Families. But visiting the Mini Bears, Mini Monsters Bears Camp, and meeting some of the staff, they were so lovely, and old Chicago Bears. So even though my husband couldn't be there, he's a big Bears fan. We got to share that with him through photos.
Like,
he was
we're
super jealous.
For you. I love
Thanks
that.
to Blue Star, yeah.
What's one of your favorite memories of Blue Star Families?
The Bears mini monster camps. I really like that Easter egg hunt that we just went to, and the bingo.
Yeah.
That was really fun. The bingo.
Oh, that's so fun. And isn't it cool to be able to connect with other kids that are going through the same thing as you?
It is. It's interesting to see how different races they come from, and how long their parents or parents served in the military.
Yeah, and how long they've been away, and how you guys video chat. So when my mom was stationed in Korea, we didn't have like a video chat, but we had this little phone, and we had a little box that was black and white, and every once in a while she would show up, and I know what that feels like, to just miss them so much.
Yeah.
What would you say to people watching who may be a Blue Star family, or maybe they know one, about getting connected with this group, Blue Star?
Oh, wow. Get on all the social media lists. There's ways to be following what's happening, and be brave to sign up and talk to the families when you get to go to the events. I mean, from visiting Wrigley Field and going to these events, it's nice just to talk with those moms and dads, because men and women serve, to be able to connect with them. So get connected on the list and let them know your ideas. We have a new director in the area. Courtney is amazing, and I'm so excited to see how she and Ben, we've known for years as a staff member, but what they want to do is listen to us and say, we have ideas too. So they'll go out and try to make dreams happen for activities. It's that bonding time, and when my husband does get to join us and those other service members, it's priceless family memories, because there's birthdays missed, there's celebrations missed, we're gonna cry, there's things that are missed when our service members are gone. So being able to have a quality time event supported like Blue Star Families does for us, we're so happy about those experiences.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to have them. Heather, what's your husband's name?
Major Jose Perez.
Okay, I wanted to make sure we get that out there. Thanks to him for his service. Thank you to both of you for the sacrifices you make. I know that it's not easy, but we appreciate their service so much. I get emotional too talking about it. There's a lot of sacrifice, so thank you.
There is.
And also we want to thank Blue Star Families for coming in today. If you want to learn more about Blue Star Families and support with a donation, head to bluestarfam.org. There is a specific fundraiser that's going on right now to support military kids, so check it out and you can join in that way.
Such a great story and a great way to share, for sure. Well, we are seeing this light rain come to an end around Chicago. This upper level disturbance is finally losing its structure, so it is moving out. We are drying out, but we are keeping those cool winds in the forecast, as temperatures will be in the 50s. That's it. As we start warming up late in the week, we introduce thunderstorm chances late day Thursday, especially Friday. Actually, it's a weather alert day, because all the pieces coming together, with moisture first on Thursday, some heat too. We'll touch off showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Then we watch the actual cold front move in from the west, and that's going to be meeting the warm air that's in place. So depending on the timing of everything and the exact storm track, we could end up with strong or even severe storms late in the day Friday into the evening. So it's still a few days away. We will be fine-tuning that model data as it gets closer, but we do know that on Friday, that's our highest chance of rain, running at 70%. Right now we're drying out over the city, but still holding the clouds. clouds and keeping those winds up. 41 is the current temperature. We have those gusty northwest winds all day long, just reinforcing that cool air, pulling it in. Winds 30 to 35 miles per hour. So it is going to be a windy one as we start drying out. And we are hoping for a little hint of sunshine later in the day, but especially as we get into tonight, we start seeing that clearing taking place. So I think we'll see more in the way of sunshine for your Wednesday, and we will also have those winds under 10 miles per hour. So for today, 54 degrees for the daytime high, heating up late week, almost 80 degrees on Friday. So we'll have the moisture, we'll have the heat. Depends on the storm track though, but we put a weather alert day so you can keep checking in with us as it gets closer, and we will fine tune that storm track. Back to you.
And I'll take it from here on, Mary Kay. Thanks very much for kind of cluing us in on what is in store. And we had some rain earlier on, and while it's good for the plants and the flowers, not so much for driving. Ugh, look at this. What a mess. Everything is jammed up. Had a crash here in Lake County on the southbound side of I-94, the tri-state, just past Route 60. It's been there for a while, still on the left shoulder. Use Waukegan Road, and you'll be real glad that you did. Get on at Route 22, Half-Day Road. What's going on Lake Cook? Yeah, we've got new road work. Guess what? It's down to one lane either way for the foreseeable future between Route 53 and Arlington Heights Road and all the way back to the core expressways. Nothing in the way as far as lane blockage incidents, but don't forget to write. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
Classic Chicago chain now offering breakfast. We're at Portillo's for its menu debut and how people are reacting there. Plus, Jackie's getting us ready for prom season in today's Jumpstart.
Dana, Audrina, good morning to you from North Riverside Park Mall. We're talking all things Prom 2025, and the mall has everything you need, including how to ask your date to prom. So you've got, you will leave a hole in my heart if you do not go to prom with me. It's hard to read upside down, but that's okay. We've also got Mateo over here with his Mrs. Fields cookie. Go on in, Sandra. It says prom on it, question mark. Coming up in 20 minutes, we're going to be at JCPenney showing you beauty looks. We'll see you right after the break.
All right, so if you're hungry this morning and you're not on a diet, Portillo's has got you covered. The classic Chicago chain is now serving up breakfast.
This is a look at the South Loop Portillo's location as people ordered brand new breakfast sandwiches and even a chocolate cake donut. Did you see that line of cars, by the way? We caught up with one man who had a Polish sausage sandwich bright and early this morning.
That's what brought me here, was knowing they had breakfast sandwiches. So I was hyped up about coming here and trying the experience. I was expecting the breakfast sandwich to have like sweet peppers and giardiniera, but unfortunately didn't have that. But next time I will order it with it.
It doesn't have it? You gotta, I mean,
that is surprising, maybe because of the hour. I don't know. Before you rush out, though, breakfast is served at only a handful of Portillo's locations. In addition to the Chicago restaurant at Canal and Taylor, you can also go to the Elmhurst, Niles, Shorewood, and Tinley Park locations.
And you don't have much time to try it. Portillo's only testing breakfast through the end of the summer. It's a little test out to see. Maybe if they add the giardiniera, it'll do better.
We'll see. I wonder if it'll stick. My guess is yes. Well, next, a new perk if you fly American, the free service the airline will start offering next year.
This is CBS News Chicago.
Good morning and good to be with you. I'm Audrina Sinclair.
And I'm Dana Kozlov. It is 9:30. Thanks so much for staying with us on this Tuesday. Well, this half hour, we are prepping for prom season and getting a look at some of the hottest trends in fashion, hair, and more.
But first, let's start with your first alert forecast as the early morning rain is tapering off, but it's going to be a windy day and it's cloudy too.
That's right. Meteorologist Mary Kay Kleist is in our first alert weather center right now with more on what we can expect. Mary Kay.
Yeah, good morning. Well, our rain is coming to an end, Dana and Audrina. We're holding at 41 degrees as the showers move out of the picture for us. So we are going to see everything pushed to the east and move away from us as this area of low pressure leaves us with the winds. So we still will have gusty winds out of the northwest anywhere between 25 and 35 miles per hour. So it will be windy and cooler as the rain departs, and the temperatures, well, they're cooler than yesterday. Yesterday we enjoyed outside the middle 60s. Today, lower 50s. That's it for daytime highs. So our forecast calls for 53 in the Loop. We'll see about 50 degrees in Waukegan, 55 in Kankakee. So cool today, below average. Cool tomorrow. Tomorrow, a little less wind, a little more in the way of sunshine. But we are closing out the week with not only warmer air, but also a storm threat. First chance coming Thursday afternoon. A severe threat maybe on Friday. We'll talk about that in your first alert forecast. That's coming up in a few minutes. Let's take
Mary. So much. And breaking overnight, a huge fire burning for hours in East St. Louis. It's happening at a pallet company with a lot of wood on hand, making it really easy for this fire to spread. Look at these scenes here. You can see the smoke rising behind the famous St. Louis Arch there. At one point, there was a report of an explosion from one of the company's trucks as well. We know a lot of equipment has been damaged, and you can see the structure as well. We'll keep tabs on this as it develops.
And today, fallen Chicago police officer Enrique Martinez's name will be added to the memorial wall at the Gold Star Families Park. The 26-year-old officer was shot and killed during a traffic stop near 80th and Ingleside last November. He served nearly 3 years on the police force. The ceremony is happening at noon in just a few hours. Family, friends, police officials, and others will be there for that honor.
The man charged with attempted murder for setting a fire at the Pennsylvania governor's residence is now behind bars. The incident, though, has political security details around the country, including here in Illinois, reviewing safety protocols and also security around these government officials' buildings. 38-year-old Cody Balmer told police that he wanted to beat Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro with a hammer. Thankfully, Shapiro and his family escaped that fire and none of them were hurt. Now, Balmer's mother now telling CBS News her son suffered from mental health issues. Meanwhile, Governor J.B. Pritzker reached out to Shapiro about the incident. Governor Pritzker says he knows security is critical and is constantly reassessing it, but it can't block him from everyday life and his duties.
I can't say specifically the kinds of security measures that they'll take that are new and different. What I can say is that there is a heightened sensitivity to the idea of an invasion by people of those grounds, even when there are cameras and state police around.
Pritzker also discussed a different issue, testifying before a congressional committee on sanctuary policies. He said he's open to it, but he hasn't decided yet if he will accept the invitation. 2 college students from Chicago who were arrested in Denmark last week are now out of jail, but they can't come home just yet. Police still have their passports. Owen Ray and his friend were in Copenhagen for spring break when they ordered an Uber. A rideshare spokesperson tells us the two got into a fight in the back seat and assaulted the driver when the ride ended. Ray's family claims the driver was the aggressor. A statement from Uber says they take reports of violence very seriously and says the driver reported his assault to the app. The U.S. State Department is assisting in this case. The University of Chicago is getting a big boost for its business school. An alum named Konstantin Sokolov just made a $100 million gift to the executive MBA program at the Booth School of Business, and now that program will be renamed in honor of the 2005 MBA alum. The team of professors gives students personalized coaching, leadership workshops, insight circles, and career clinics. The 21-month program also focuses on global economics with campuses in Chicago, Hong Kong, and London. And new this morning, American Airlines will start offering Wi-Fi for free starting next year. It's teaming up with AT&T to make sure all of its planes can offer high-speed service. All you have to do to get free internet is sign up for the Advantage loyalty program. This year's Ghana Fest has been canceled as organizers are now saying that recent unforeseen circumstances significantly impacted its budget and pricing for not only people coming but also vendors. But they did not specify, though, what happened. Now, the festival is a celebration of Ghanaian culture, heritage, and community. Ghana Fest was set for the last Saturday of July on the south side. Well, it was a big night for the Chicago Sky. They had 4 picks in the WNBA draft. They added some more star power to the roster, drafting an All-American Haley Van Lith in the first round, and she is getting a lot of buzz, but they believe all 4 players chosen can help them improve after missing the playoffs last season. There were a lot of cheers at Revolution Brewing Taproom in Avondale as Van Lith's name was called. She was Angel Reese's teammate at LSU before she transferred to TCU. Right before Van
Van Lith, the Sky selected sharpshooting Aisha Sivka at number 10.
Congrats to them. I mean, the draft night is such a huge deal for athletes who work so hard. I mean, this is a big deal for them.
It really is. Life-changing.
Welcome to Chicago. Well, next, a Chicago public school teacher on a mission to make books more accessible.
She started a book fair that's now in its 4th year, and she joins us live to talk about the purpose and how you can participate. A Chicago public school teacher is working to make reading easier by providing kids and families with access to free books. Bridget McGill has hosted a free book fair on Chicago's West Side for the last 3 years. Her 4th one is coming up this Saturday, and Bridget McGill joins me live right now to talk about it. Okay, now I know you told me you teach 3rd grade math and science,
Yes.
and where do you do that?
At McNair Elementary School on the west side of Chicago.
You're giving a shout out to your students just in case they're watching in class?
Happy. I hope you guys are being good 3rd graders.
There we go. All right. Okay, Bridget, we're so happy to have you here, but tell us about this book fair. What made you want to start it, and how did you go about doing that?
Well, I just started it by pulling together different authors in the Austin community and beyond, and we wanted to make sure that we have a book fair in our own community. We shouldn't have to travel to other communities for a book fair. So I believe whatever you want in your own community, you should create that.
So that was lacking.
That was lacking.
That was prior to your book fair that you started now 4 years ago.
Absolutely. And we wanted to make sure that if you wanted a book fair in your community, that you should have it. We have lots of people in the Austin community that read books, that write books, that love books, so why not have a book fair?
Speaking of books, what kind of books can families find at your book fair?
There's all kinds of books for all ages. We have children's authors, we have adult authors, we have SEL coloring books for children. We have authors that have written about care for the caregivers, mobile home investing, living with HIV, and so much more.
Wow. Now, how do you get your books?
So we have different people donate books that are the free books, and then we have authors that come in, they do raffles. So it's more than just a group of authors selling books, but we want to make sure that children have access to free books as well.
Is free the majority of the offerings, I would imagine, when you say you have offers coming in selling books, but most of the books are free?
For the children. The books are free to the children because we want to make sure that every child that wants to read a book at home has a book to read at home.
And every study, I think, I mean, I'm going out on a limb, but every study shows the more you read, the earlier you read, the more success you will likely have in school.
That's absolutely correct. From kindergarten to 2nd grade, you learn to read. From 3rd grade beyond, you're reading to learn. And reading connects you to the world around you, the world beyond you, and reading makes sure that you are in tune with everything that's happening in the world.
And I really personally, as a mom, also think it really helps with your vocabulary and your grammar and sentence structure, you know, as you move through life. However, books are one thing, right? I'm a big fan of books, but in this age of social media and our telephones, less and less kids are picking up, I think, books to read them, tangible books. How do you recommend keeping kids engaged in reading?
Well, one thing we have been suggesting to families is to create a book club within your own family and let the children pick the books. So if a child picks a book that they like or they're interested in, then that entire family is engaged in the reading process.
So it's really important. And don't be afraid to start, right?
Absolutely.
Let's say you haven't been reading to your children or helping them read, and now they're 10. It's okay to try to start now.
That's absolutely the key, because reading will always be, as we say, fundamental.
Right. Even though you're a math and science teacher, Bridget McGill, you are making sure that kids, students, and grown-ups alike all have access to books so they continue to read even as they look at their phones. They kind of can do the both, right? Bridget McGill, thank you so much for joining us. I really hope that Saturday's book fair is a success. I would imagine the turnout is pretty overwhelming.
We're really excited. We believe that our turnout this year is going to be bigger than ever, and our space is getting smaller. So next year we're probably going to be moving into a bigger space.
I hope you do. I hope you do. And again, I want to let everyone know who might be watching right now that book fair, the West Side Book Fair, is this Saturday from 11 to 3. free at Amberg Hall. Now, that is a venue space inside Bethel New Life at 1150 North Lamont Avenue, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
All right, Bridget, thank you, and thank you for teaching our young people. And in the meantime, let's toss it over to Mary Kay.
Thank you.
Okay, we are watching the rain go away, Dana, and we are going to be drying out, but we are keeping chilly winds and cloud cover for now. You can see little rain, little snow headed through Kalamazoo, Michigan, and all that activity is crossing the lake. So cooler than average and cooler than yesterday, about 10 degrees cooler. Next 2 days feature readings in the middle 50s for daytime highs. Late week, we start warming, and with that comes some instability, late day thunder on Thursday, but Friday, we are watching for severe weather chances late in the day. All of it coming together first with the moisture content on Thursday and the warming, so scattered afternoon showers, rumble of thunder certainly possible. Warm front lifts through at night, and we'll start to see that milder air sitting in place on Friday along with moisture, and here comes the cold front. So all of that coming together could generate some stronger or even severe thunderstorms. We're still looking at the timing of the front and the exact placement of the storm itself, but we do know it will be warm and the humidity levels will be crawling up as well. So a 70% chance of rain on Friday. That's our highest day for rain. Right now we're at 41 degrees. We have a gusty northwest wind out. That's going to be the case all afternoon. Northwest winds keep pulling in that cooler air mass, and they gust 25 to 35 miles per hour. So it's going to be a gusty, cool afternoon. Low 50s North Shore, probably about 53 in Evanston. In DuPage, we'll see 55. Naperville, Bolingbrook, Plainfield seeing middle 50s. And then as we go into northwest Indiana, we'll see about 49 in Burns Harbor and 55 degrees in Maryville. So keeping the winds, we're losing the rain, and I think we'll hold the cloud cover until later this afternoon. Clearing taking place tonight, 35 for the low, colder air in place tomorrow, 54. But as I mentioned, we start warming up Thursday, 67 with an afternoon thunderstorm chance. Higher chance Friday. We posted it as a weather alert day because we're flirting with 80 degrees. Some of the suburbs will cross into the low 80s. So you have all that heat, you have all that moisture. Will the storm track come into play? That's what we're monitoring. So keep checking in with us day by day as that storm gets closer. We just made it a weather alert day to remind you to check in with us because that's Easter weekend. A few showers coming in on Easter Sunday. Well, the rain is over, but how about the traffic? Let's get a check of the roads now with Chris Habermill live in the First Alert Traffic Center. Nice to say goodbye to the rain.
Indeed, it's nice to say goodbye to the rain, but if you're parked with the car a certain way, you better hang on to the door or it's going to open it up wide for you, especially if you're parked close to somebody else. You don't want to bang into their car. Right now, this is what it looks like. We're still recovering after this morning's rain moved through. We still have a recovery of a crash in the southbound side of the tri-state up in Lake County past Route 60. It's on the left shoulder, so a little delay approaching there. Getting back to the core expressway, still pretty hefty across the board here. And up in Uptown, we have ourselves Argyle closed. Broadway to Winthrop until 5 a.m. on Thursday, doing some L-train work there, so on the overhead L support. So Foster, Lawrence, you can take those instead. Have a great day. Drive safe. Let's be nice to each other. Chris Habermill, CBS News Chicago.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, in today's Jumpstart, we are preparing for prom season.
It's that time. We've been getting a look at the clothing, hair, and makeup options available at North Riverside Park Mall for the season. And Jackie Kostick is back live now at JCPenney with a look at some makeup trends. Ooh, I'm interested in this, Jackie.
Dana, Audrina, good morning to you. Yeah, I feel like makeup trends are applicable to, of course, the big dance of prom, but you can also just pick up these trends and potentially use them in your day-to-day life or, you know, a hot night out in the city, something like that. I'm here with Maritza Chavez. If you're well past the years of prom, I'm trying to say. Maritza, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jackie.
Okay, so you're the beauty manager here at JCPenney, and you have been for 4 years. Let's talk a little bit about the overall trends for beauty prom 2025. What are a lot of these ladies going to be wearing on their face?
Yes, definitely this year, glowing skin. Make sure you prep your skin very, very hydrated for that glowy finish. Think luminous foundations, dewy finishes.
Yes.
And as far as bronzers and blushes, we're going to go ahead and use more of those warmer tones, light nude. Highlighters, we're going to go ahead and add lots and lots of highlighter. For eyes, bold liners are really, really in. And also shimmer in your inner corner or your outer corner.
So Marissa, that's for the eye. I would say that looks like a lip gloss tube, but it's not. It is like an eyeshadow and sort of an extra sparkle for the eye.
It already has the glue, so you just go ahead and dab it in the area that you want it to stay, and it will stay there.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's maybe not a day-to-day look. That's for something. For a special night. I would say.
Occasion, yes.
Okay. So you're actually going to apply some of the blush and the highlighter to our model Giselle, who looks so beautiful. I have to say, your face. I mean, your skin is just so perfect. It's just. And what kind of foundation is she wearing?
She's wearing the Smashbox foundation.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so grab that blush and the highlighter and show us sort of where you would apply it. She's already got the perfect foundation on. So where do you go with the blush?
So we're gonna go ahead and use the Shades by Sean in the color Apricot. Okay, it's more of that peachy color.
Ooh.
You're gonna use an angle brush, okay, and we're gonna go ahead and apply it in the cheekbone.
Okay.
If you're not sure where, go ahead and smile, Giselle. Right here is the cheekbone, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and go around in the middle and kind of just hug it, okay? Going in an upwards motion.
And Maritza, if you are like me, or if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, I don't know how to do a lot of these things, you actually offer a lot of sort of makeup sessions, tutorials for folks who want to come to JCPenney and learn how to do this yourself, right?
Correct, we do. We offer everything that you will see here. We offer them in mini services. So if you're just a beginner and you want to start, you want to learn how to do your brows, eyeshadow, contouring, the perfect blush for your complexion, or even your foundation color, we offer all those services here. So make sure you stop by at your nearest JCPenney beauty location.
Okay, Maritza, the blush looks beautiful. Can you just show us real quick that highlighter? Because I actually don't know. This is a little self-serving right now because I don't really know how to apply highlighter in a way that doesn't make me look like I'm like not profusely sweating. Every time I apply it, I'm like, whoa, I look, not great.
Highlighters are meant to have fun. We're going to be using the Shades by Sean highlight in the color Marjorie and Irma. I'm going to go ahead and mix them together.
Okay.
We're going to use a smaller, thin brush, okay?
Okay, so Maritza, thank you so much for your time this morning. Giselle, thank you for being our beautiful model. They also have some good fragrances here that they were showing off as well, because you can't go to prom and not smell like a dream, so to speak. So Dana, Audrina, back to you.
Jackie, I was drinking my protein shake and I spit it out during your thing about
the highlighter.
The highlight.
And looking like you're profusely sweating.
The highlighter. I mean, honestly, I used to wear it on TV and I would look back and I was like, I look like I'm like sweating. Like,
oh my God, look at Jackie's photo. So,
Jackie,
anyway, we have your prom
this
photo.
Much better. It's just light. Okay, show it.
Well, okay, I don't know if you can see it, of course, but we are looking at Jackie during her prom. Oh my gosh, I have to look away a little bit.
Oh my God, it's dark hair.
It's beautiful, Jackie. I love the yellow and the green. It looks so
festive.
Yes, I saw it on another girl at a different prom, and I was so obsessed with the dress because it was so unique. It had like the turquoise tulle underneath the yellow skirt. I know it was very interesting, but my mom and I went on a mission to find it and found it at a mall, kind of like the North Riverside Park Mall. And my mom actually like stitched on some of the beads because it was in the back section. It was in the clearance rack. Anyway, it was a good find. It reminded me of like a Carrie Bradshaw look at the time.
I love it.
Very Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh my gosh, I love sharing the prom pictures. Speaking of,
we have more.
Do we have more?
I know. We have Dana. Dana, is that you?
That is me.
I'm looking up at our bigger monitor.
I know. I should have color corrected it and whatnot, but it was a lot of years ago.
Look at that dress.
Okay, so this was the 80s, mid-80s, I'm just saying. I'm just going to put it out there. No, my hair is not that big. That's a shadow. But I had the perm, the mid-80s perm.
Yes.
And the princess dress. When I say princess dresses, it was like a corset.
That's
and
a good
then
one.
a big skirt with
and
tulle.
the shoulders?
The shoulders.
I like that.
Well, I mean, talk about like moving around in it, though. It was not the easiest dress to navigate on the dance floor back then.
Oh, but I love that. All right, I think we
gosh.
have mine next, which was not as poofy, Dana.
No,
I actually went with the sleek look.
That's
my
gorgeous.
sash was covering the best part of it. I had like a custom-made necklace.
What did the
that
sash say, Audrina?
It's prom court.
Oh, look at you. That's gorgeous. That is a gorgeous dress.
Thank you. It was very 2007 because that's what year it was.
Very elegant. No, it's seriously very elegant.
Thank you. And yours was amazing.
Mine was Poofy.
Poofy to go with the hair? I'm in.
Oh, maybe next month I'll show you that picture, because by my senior year, that was my junior year, it was all sleek and short hair and the whole, it was a total 180, Audrina. But
well,
you
thank
look
you
gorgeous.
for obliging us today, because we took a trip down memory lane. We'll see you after the break.
Well, we will see this rain out of the picture, but the winds stay with us. Northwest winds may gust to 30 miles per hour. We'll see a high of 53 degrees. Still cool tomorrow with less wind, but as we heat up late in the week, there's a storm threat Friday, maybe a shower on Easter Sunday. Back.
Okay, Mary Kay, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us here on the News at 9. Your local news continues right here on the stream.
We always appreciate you being with us throughout the morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning from 5 to 10 a.m.